Hello everyone, today we have to discuss about upcoming Prismatics, a new Prismatic that is coming on Wednesday and the next Dawn of Fire update, so we have a heck of a lot to talk about today guys. First of all, we have Prismatic Waddle to discuss about. In the teaser we see a sun background as then we are shown to the Prism Gate opening and revealing to us yellow Prismatic Waddle, and they have took on a more digitalized form here rather than having the typical fur that they have at the end of their ears and towards the top of their head and their webbed feet. They actually have in replacement of those antenna looking objects, and rather than them having their stylish lips, their signature look, they instead have a really weird looking mouth to see on Waddle, to be honest. I cannot get over that mouth guys, and those eyes not being there as well. I just can't. They've took the two eyes that usually are present on Waddle and made them just a singular eye, and it just looks so weird to me, this design. I think that it's great. I think that's totally unique to the original counterpart. That's what we're looking for with the Prismatics, and that's why I just think it's a really great take on it. And you know what guys too, if we have a look towards the legs, you can see that they have squares coming from them. They're more pixelated. Obviously we have the pixelated vibe going on throughout the design here, but this is particularly evident with the legs. If we have a look here towards the body, you can see it coming off of it as well, and we've got squares even pulsating from its body, which is really weird to see, and it's one of those mutations that you just see out of the Prism Gate where you go, whoa. And it's nice to see it in a more digitalized form too. We've had a more metallic take with Prismatic Stog, however we've not had a more digitalized take, and this is definitely heading towards that direction. So it's cool to see that with Prismatic Waddle, and it's interesting that they chose to do it with Waddle out of all the monsters as well, as I wouldn't really particularly imagine it with Waddle, and taking that approach here is definitely paying off, and you can see that it's rather grand, this design, and it's great. Now as for which Prismatics are going to be coming next, before we discuss about that, I want to mention that a new Dawn of Fire update must be coming to accommodate for Prismatic Waddle. We know this because typically with a Dawn of Fire update we get about 6 monsters, so therefore it's highly likely and highly probable that we will be receiving a new Dawn of Fire update on Wednesday. This will not include a fire elemental, I would imagine. I think it's purely going to be Prismatics related, as if we have a look at the update here and what has been shown in Pandemonium, there's been no fire elemental shown, and we know that they'd leap at the chance to show a fire elemental on Pandemonium. They show magicals, they are not going to leave out fire elementals if a fire elemental was coming along to Dawn of Fire. So unfortunately that's out of the book. However, it's important, I think, seeing as though we're having a refresh now and Dawn of Fire is getting a new update, to talk about which Prismatics are going to be coming next. We know that 6 double elementals, 12 triple elementals including Waddle, 9 quad elementals and quint elemental dromedary are the ones left in terms of Prismatics that we have to come in game. So that's quite a few Prismatics there guys, and it's mainly triple and quad elemental based. If we have a look in comparison to the 6 double elementals and the 1 quint elementals, we have 12 triple elementals and 9 quad elementals, which is huge in comparison to the double elementals and the quint elemental. I think it's important to discuss about which ones are going to be coming next, as whilst we don't have confirmation necessarily and it's hard to spectate upon what is going to be coming next, I think getting across what is going to be happening, especially with the large roster we're seeing here, is important so you guys can get them teleported over in time, as any beneficial statements and you guys knowing which ones to get across first is just really good, I think, so that you guys can get all the Prismatics possible. So then, which Prismatics should you guys focus on? For now, we're going to be getting into in a minute which ones I suspect are going to be coming. However, I would mainly focus on your quad elementals and dromedary right now in your game. Those are the ones to focus on. However, if we're on about which ones are going to be coming next, they seem to really like monsters that have multiple islands in Dawn of Fire. So I'm assuming they're going to take a similar approach here, and they're going to go and take monsters that have multiple islands, and we're actually running out of those kinds of monsters. Currently, we only have 3 notable monsters that go to different islands left. So it's assumable that 2 or maybe 1 of these will come inside of the next update, as they do prioritize these, as obviously it's a little harder to get these, so it's higher on their priority list as a studio to get these monsters out ASAP so that we have more Prismatics in game and the game is more beefy. So we have Snize at first. Now I'm reading these out in terms of priority as well, so make sure to take note to the priority that I am listing these. Snizer is first on my priority priority list overall for all the Prismatics that you should teleport. They're on Space and Cloud Island, so it's going to be rather hard. Not quite as hard as Prismatic Shelby, who we've just got, and I wouldn't assume that they're going to add another one on multiple islands straight away after Prismatic Waddle. But you definitely want to be focusing on Snizer, as they are yet another quad elemental that are on 2 islands. And we saw with Prismatic Shelby how hard that can be, so make sure to get your Snizers across. And in terms of the next one, we have Dromedary. Obviously, Dromedary is also one that they are going to add eventually. It's a quint elemental. It's really hard to get across to Cloud Island. With Candelabra, it was a bit nicer. You had to get it up to level 5 and 10 to get across to Party in Space Island, whereas with this one particularly, it's with a quint going to Cloud Island, and that is really difficult in comparison to Candelabra and even pretty much any monster in Dawn of Fire. It's even in front of Pom Pom, who's on all those islands. It's in front of everyone. Dromedary is going to be by far the hardest Prismatic to get in Dawn of Fire, unless they release more fire elementals in the future and we see something come out of it and more quint elementals, which will eventually happen, yes, but as of right now, Dromedary is the hardest one, well, will be the hardest Prismatic to get, so make sure to get Dromedary on over. I would, however, assume that Dromedary is going to be coming later down the line. That's why I've prioritized Snizer over Dromedary. And then next up we have Bogart. Bogart's on both Space and Cave Islands, so once again, that comparison there between monsters being on a singular island to multiple. Bogart's also a likely conclusion to draw to come out in this update because there are multiple islands. And then we also have Quibble, yet again, who is on Party and Cave Island. Alike to Bogart's 2 islands, they have 2 islands too, with Bogart having Space and Cave Island that they go across to. So I'd make sure to focus on those. In terms of what other monsters are going to be coming, it's really hard to pinpoint what is going to be coming, so I don't really want to delve into that too much. However, I would like to bring up the fact that there is an abundance of triple elementals waiting to come out, so I would expect for quite a few triple elementals to be included in this, as we went over how there's 12 in comparison to all the other elementals. That definitely can be evened out with all the other elementals that we have going on, but I assume that they're going to definitely ramp up the triple elementals and get those rolled out, so it's not necessarily later on down the line quad quints all the way through, because those are quite difficult and we do like a bit of variation, and making sure that easier monsters come along as well, rather than just the harder quad and quint Prismatics, as we do like a bit of variation, and I'm sure that new players will find it very beneficial when they're just starting out to be able to get some Prismatics as well that are just releasing, as that's quite nice, that window there. We'll also see a focus on quad elementals as well, in terms of which monsters you should prioritize. I've mentioned you definitely want to be focusing on wads, as those are quite difficult to get across, to make sure to be focusing on those as well. Now, as for Prismatics, they've actually been releasing every single month instead of every 2 weeks. I'm hoping that with this update we might see a return to form. It's nice, of course, that Dawn of Fire is getting any content at all. It's much appreciated, but I really liked it when we got a new Prismatic every single 2 weeks. They've been taking a step back recently though, and they've been just doing it every single month. So I hope that with this update we do see a return to the 2-week schedule, so we can start seeing these Prismatics being pumped out, as we do like seeing them. And it is a rather lengthy gap that they're leaving in between Prismatics now, and I think 1 every 2 weeks is just really nice. In terms of what else we have to talk about though, now I actually want to raise up a concern of mine. So with the Dawn of Fire update releasing, I feel like it's important to address this, because I feel like this is a very important update. I know that only Prismatics are going to be coming more than likely within this update. However, I do want to bring up the fact that the Outer Island hotels are now full. If any of you have been getting Prismatics ever since the very beginning, you've been teleporting them all across and you keep on going and going and going, unfortunately there's just not enough space on the Outer Islands to accommodate for all these Prismatics now. And especially for me, if we have a look on my islands here, you can see my hotels are full, my islands are full, there's literally no room left. So for any of you guys watching who have been following along the Prismatic journey, I'm sure you can sympathize with me on this one as well. There's just no room. I think that a new hotel upgrade is definitely needed across all the Outer Islands pretty much within this update. I think if they don't add it, it's going to be very detrimental for fans, as you don't want that experience. People are working hard to get all these Prismatic monsters, and limiting the monsters across just doesn't really make sense, as that's the aim of the game. And if you can't achieve the aim of the game, what's the point in having the aim of the game? It's confusing. It was a really good time when they introduced hotels in the first place, so there's no doubt in my mind that we will see a hotel upgrade. I'm sure that they're aware of it. I have contacted support previously, so I really hope that they are pushing towards an hotel upgrade being released. All we need is another 100 beds inside of the hotel. It's not necessarily the same case as with My Singing Monsters, as it's a hotel. The monsters aren't playing, they're just dormant inside the hotel. It's not going to cause any device fluctuations. I don't think we really need another expansion upon the Outer Islands. I just think we need another 50, 100 beds inside the hotels, preferably 100, so we have that nice luscious amount of space. Having that bit of a luxury there, I feel like, is a really nice thing to have. In the main game now, we actually have that luxury as well, with having more beds than what we actually need for just having one of each monster, and I feel like that should just be the same for Dawn of Fire, because why not? I just don't see a point in limiting it. It is defeating the aim of the game, and I'm sure that they're aware of it though, and I really do hope that we see a hotel upgrade. Otherwise, I just don't know what I'm going to do with Prismatics. I don't want to sell my monsters inside my hotels, that is for certain, and I'm sure everyone else watching doesn't want to either. I cannot state enough how hard it is to get Prismatics and all those monsters across in the first place, and just the thought of having to do that all over again, nah, never. Nah. Alright then, guys. Anyway, I hope you look forward towards the Prismatics and take note towards my recommendations on what Prismatics are going to be coming in the future. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like this and make sure to subscribe down below too, so you don't miss any more content from me. But never, guys. Bye.